Last year, I covered several stories of people who had traveled with a gun or mistakenly left a round of ammo in the bottom of a suitcase and ended up getting arrested and jailed in the Caribbean. Now it's happened again, this time with a 69-year-old grandmother who was traveling with her adopted son. She's now being kept in a prison that was once featured on a documentary about the world's worst prisons. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let this story once again be a reminder to always check your luggage before a trip, especially if that trip involves going to another country. And I get it, sometimes you might forget in the flurry of packing, or flights might be early in the morning, or maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. I personally tend to not sleep before big trips because I'm going through mental lists over and over again to make sure I didn't forget anything. But now this lady is in jail and her adopted son is without his adopted mother in a foreign country. So if you are traveling and you have an early flight or an early drive, especially as the Christmas holidays are coming up, one surefire way to make sure that you stay alert and check everything twice, besides having a list, is starting your day with a cup of Blackout Coffee. Blackout Coffee Company is my pro-Second Amendment coffee roaster of choice. They have amazing coffee, tea, and hot chocolate, and even have partner roasts where the proceeds go directly to some of your favorite gun rights groups like GOA, FPC, and even the Second Amendment Foundation. My personal favorite is the chocolate cherry, but they have a bunch of great flavors and plain roasts, plus their holiday flavors that come around only once a year. So check them out at blackoutcoffee.com/LibertyDoll, and if it's your first visit, you can use code LibertyDoll for a one-time 20% discount. So, 69-year-old Mary Robinson, a widow from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, booked this 4-day Royal Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas for her adopted son Johnny's 12th birthday. She typically carries protection, but leaves it locked in the car when she travels, but for whatever reason, left it in her purse this time around. Somehow, which seems to be a common trend in these types of news stories, the security on the U.S. side at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, did not detect the Kel-Tec 380 in her purse when they boarded on December 1st. The ship docked in Nassau the next day, and she and Johnny got off the ship to do some sightseeing. But when they went to get back on the ship, security found the gun, along with 4 rounds, and called the police. Robinson, who her lawyers say the family has told them has been showing early signs of dementia, said that she simply forgot the gun was in her purse. Now, I have some questions there, because if she really does have early dementia, why is she taking her 12-year-old adopted son on a cruise in another country without another family member present? It could just be an excuse, something the lawyers are saying, but these same lawyers also claim that she said she received the gun as a gift from her aunt over 50 years ago. But if the pistol is in fact a Kel-Tec, as reported by the Daily Mail, well, Kel-Tec wasn't around until the 90s. So there's a few missing decades there. She is, however, licensed to carry in the U.S. But the U.S. is not the Bahamas. Her lawyer argued it was an innocent mistake, but as the magistrate told Robinson, unlicensed possession of a gun and ammo carries a default 24-month sentence in the Bahamas. The widow, who allegedly had already been attacked by, quote, very aggressive rats while being held for 2 days at the Central Police Station, pled guilty in exchange for paying an $8,000 fine in order to avoid prison. She was told. But when she couldn't pay the fine by the end of the day, she was taken to Fox Hill Correctional Center, which has been featured on the World's Toughest Prisons docuseries and has been subject to investigations from the U.S. State Department. Luckily, Robinson was also traveling with a friend who agreed to look after Johnny as she was carted off to jail. According to the U.S. State Department, the prison is in disrepair, plagued by rats, overcrowding, poor nutrition, inadequate sanitation, and inadequate medical care. A 2021 report said that inmates were responsible for removing their own waste using a bucket, and up to 6 people were assigned to every 6 by 10-foot cell. A guard at the facility said that the prison wasn't even fit for dogs, let alone people. Now, last year, because this was happening so often in the Caribbean, the State Department ended up putting notices out on their website and in the news about if you are traveling to one of these foreign countries, making sure that you do not have a gun or ammo with you, because this is what happens. But I don't know of a lot of people that check the State Department website before getting on a Royal Caribbean cruise. And if she truly does have the early stages of dementia, well, there's that. The good news is that Robinson's granddaughter started a GoFundMe, which has now reached over $12,000, which is enough to pay the fine and bring Robinson home. Now, in past similar stories I've covered, families still had a tough time bringing their loved ones home, but in those cases, they typically weren't offered a fine in exchange for not facing jail time. So hopefully the family can pay the fine and that'll be it, and they can get Robinson out. Then they'll just have to worry about how to pay the lawyer. Unfortunately, in the story I covered earlier this week about the young man who has been in a Mexican prison for over 9 months because he took a wrong turn over the border, he was not so lucky. His family has shelled out tens of thousands of dollars and have been told Mexican authorities may still hold him for another 4 years. For the full details on that story, I will link that up in the cards. Both Royal Caribbean and Port Everglades were contacted for comment on this story, but haven't provided one at this time. As for the Royal Bahamas Police, they released a statement that the investigation is ongoing. Speaking of ongoing, this is a reminder before I close out the video that the Gundy's voting is still live. You can vote every day in every category until December 15th, and I have been told that if you vote in every category and then watch whatever little video they show you, you can vote again. Pro tip, I guess. I have been nominated in the Influencer of the Year category, so thank you to everyone who nominated me for that. Even if you don't want to vote for me, go check it out. There are some great people up for the awards, some really great channels, and it's worth giving them some support. As for this video, that is it for this one. If there are any major updates that come along, I will of course bring them to you. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Please do them. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Check your bags, please. And happy shooting.